Good morning, Nigeria. You're tuning to your number one conversation hub. Let's talk Nigeria on Golding 97.5 FM Yanagwa, the gold standard of radio, where we dissect the issues that shape our nation and give every listener a seat at the table. I am Moye Stiving.
And I am Paul Oblomugbasa.
Today we are and every citizen from the bustling streets of Yanagwa to the quiet farmlands of wherever you're listening to right now. This morning we are reviewing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's recent declaration of a national security emergency, a move that has sparked reactions across the country, from relief and renewed hope to skepticism to calls for urgent implementation. Well, security, as we all know, is the bedrock of any national security emergency. It's not just a political statement. It's called to action, a signal that the nation's security challenges can no longer be approached with business as usual strategies.
And knowing that the president, since entering into office, as at today, he's done 2 years and 6 months in his first 4-year tenure. The president had looked at the conversation and the things that need to be said. The country, almost every region in the country, is having one issue or the other that has to do with politics, that has to do with security. And the president needed to have this conversation. People had brought up suggestions over the years about settling things, from the farmers, the herders clash, to the conversation around open grazing, to open ranching, and all of the different things, state police, and what needs to be done and what shouldn't be done. The president had sat down, he's listened, in the midst of all of the different conversation, in collaboration also, not forgetting conversation that happened with himself and the President of the United States, President Donald Trump. Going forward, the President has given some things and released some statements. Today, we'll be looking at all of the different condiments in that statement, analyzing it, and seeing the way forward for Nigeria.
And just to let you know that apart from declaring national security emergency, he has ordered a massive police and army recruitment and a total overhaul. Now, some of the key measures announced were authorized. He authorized urgent additional recruitment into the armed forces and police. Nigerian police force to recruit an extra 20,000 officers. Total planned increase to 50,000. NYC camps to be used as additional police training depots. And of course, officers currently on VIP protection duties to be redeployed after, crash retraining to troubled areas. The DSS directed to immediately deploy all trained forest guards and recruit more to clear terrorists and bandits from forests nationwide. Now, he called on the National Assembly to amend laws to allow willing states to establish state police.
And I think I like the fact when he also said that every state should reconsider where they're building the boarding schools, especially in remote and insecure areas. That aspect is very key. Then the part that also people had also looked at and said, yes, it is good to end the farmer-settlers clash, surrender illegal, all the persons that are involved, surrender illegal arms and end open grazing henceforth.
So, today we have Mr. Nnamdi Abana joining us from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to look at this issue this morning together. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yeah, good morning. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much. And to you, our listeners, you know how we do it here on Let's Talk Nigeria. Your time will come when you are calling to make your own suggestions and, of course, submit, because this is Let's Talk Nigeria. All right, so let's get started. We'll be asking the key questions Nigerians are raising. Is this declaration backed by, of course, a concrete plan, or is it another political headline? How quickly can Nigerians expect to see improvements on the ground after this declaration of national security emergency? Where does the funding come from, and how will accountability be ensured? What role do citizens, traditional institutions, and community leaders have to play with this announcement? And of course, the 20,000 recruitment of Nigerians into the Nigerian police. How fast would that be? How soon would that be? Well, we have, as I told you earlier on, Mr. Nnamdi Abana, all the way from Abuja. So let's start with the first question. Mr. Nnamdi Abana, is this declaration backed by, do you think this declaration is backed by a concrete plan or is another political headline?
Well, I don't think it is another political headline because the nation is at the brink. And as we can see, these, I choose to call them terrorists, they are trying to overrun the country by moving from state to state and wreaking havoc. So the onus lies on the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, to provide security for Nigerians. Remember that the essence of government is for the government to do for the people what the people cannot do for themselves. And secondly, the primary responsibility of government is the security of lives and property. At the moment, we are in, even if the president hadn't declared it a state of emergency, we are in a state of emergency because these terrorists, they are attacking various states, they are penetrating regions that they've never penetrated before. We've heard about Abia State. One of the bandits made a video that they're in Abia, So it's quite unfortunate that it's happening. And it's a wake-up call for the president. You don't prepare for war at a time of war. You prepare for war when there is peace. And that is why there is chaos. Okay, we have a border with Niger Republic. It was reported that truckloads of these Nigerians tried to enter they even entered the country, but they were sent back. And we don't have an ambassador or a high commissioner over there who is engaging with the government of Niger Republic to ensure that the borders are well manned or even shut totally. But we don't have diplomats. We don't. Then you look at the various states that have been affected. The governors, especially the governor of Zamfara State, has been crying out for the federal government to intervene in the security situation in the state. But it also in deaf ears. Today, the whole thing is festering, and the president out. And when there is instability in the polity, when this magnitude of insecurity is experienced in a country, it gives room for, military takeover, even though we don't pray for it. So it's an unfortunate situation. For me, the measures provided by the president, written out by the president, I hope he sticks to the plan. I hope he sticks to the plan and that it doesn't change. Take, for instance, the issue of open grazing. The first information that was made available to us was that open grazing has been banned. Only for us to hear hours later that it's partially banned, that in some places there will still be grazing and so on. So the question is, who is politicizing the declaration of the federal government? We all know that open grazing is part of the challenges plaguing this nation. When they move from north to south, that's how they move, violence from north to south. Another thing that we should also look at is the arms proliferation. Where are these terrorists getting their goods? Wherever we saw over the internet, these terrorists were clothing arms made for the DSS. Where did they get it from? Where are they getting sophisticated AK-47 rifles from? Where are they getting these weapons from? So, it's a complicated issue. We are also looking at sabotage. The president should be able to identify those within his cabinet that are sabotaging the efforts of providing security in this country. Because it is apparent that some top government functionaries are complicit in the security challenges that we are facing. Don't forget that there was a time when the video is everywhere. Somebody used helicopter to be dropping relief materials for the bandits. The question is, who sent them? Why should relief materials be dropped for those bandits in the forest? Secondly, the recruitment process into the Nigerian army. Why do we have terminologies such as repentant terrorists? Terrorists don't repent. The only business that the government has with terrorists is to exterminate them. Now, some of them were integrated into the Nigerian army during the era of President Buhari. And now, some of them, if not all of them, are sabotaging the efforts of the military. One was caught some days ago, trying to supply some ammunition to Boko Haram terrorists in the forest. You can imagine that. So this is where the problem is intricate. If the federal government can identify all those Boko Haram members that were reintegrated into the army and get them out, pull them out of the force, that would be a step in the right direction.
Okay, Mr. Nnamdi, at least it's nice. These things you said, a wonderful foundation in the conversation. Of course, the president is your neighbor in Abuja. There, I just wanted to just ask you firstly, when you saw
the step in the right direction to increase the capacity of the law enforcement agents. I've always said this. Nigeria is an under-policed country. Yet, we have most of our policemen attached to VIPs. Some of them move with up to 10 security operatives. Look at the small boy in the southeast, Beloved. His police oddly, they are over 10. What is he doing with 10 policemen? We've seen cases where policemen carry handbags, dish out food, and so on. The police has been abused in this country. So I think it's a step in the right direction for the president to have said that the policemen should be withdrawn and retrained. Then to augment the effort of the police, the men of the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps and the forest guards, they will all work hand in hand to ensure that lives are secured, especially areas where we have borders, to ensure that these terrorists don't infiltrate into the territory or into various inner cities. So I think it is the step in the right direction. Then coming to state police, I think that the president shouldn't have added the caveat willing states. When you make a declaration and say willing states, it creates an avenue for some state governors to shy away from their responsibilities. And here they will say the president said willing states, we don't have the money to fund it, so we can't do it. But if the president as the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, other African countries are moving forward. Ruga is another controversial subject in our body politic. For me, herdsmen should not be allowed to graze down south. They should establish all those grazing, what is it called? Grazing areas within the north. Within the north, let them graze them, process them. They can even butcher them and package before states will buy. But for them to be moving herds of cattle from the north to south, that is what has been causing problem. That's the genesis of the farmer headline crisis, which snowballed into the terrorism that we are facing today. That is part of it. The second aspect is those that were brought in by political leaders to, let me just say, for political expediency. But eventually they were not able to disarm them and let them off the hook. That's all I have to say for now.
Okay, Mr. Abana, thank you so much for your brilliant submission there. But, you know, he called on the National Assembly to amend laws to allow willing states to establish state police. Do you see the National Assembly is swinging into action almost immediately to do what the president said? And then you look at the issue of reconstructing boarding schools in remote, insecure areas. How do you move these schools away from where? Because if you go to the north, they have well-built schools. I even served in Kebbi State during my NYC, and where the school was located, the government secondary school Kauje in Bangudo local government area. You could imagine the environment is well built. The environment is fantastic. You have teachers' quarters, you have boarding, facilities and all of that. They're moving such to probably the capital city because those areas are interior or not secure. These two, questions. First, about the National Assembly swinging into action immediately to amend the laws and also reconsidering boarding schools in remote and secure areas, probably to the cities. Yeah.
Okay, for me, our National Assembly, we all know that once the president gives an order, they go ahead to execute. And that has been a challenge. It's been hot at the National Assembly. Men like Abba Ribe and several other senators, they stood up to speak their mind, not mind whose thoughts, is God. They asked some pertinent questions that had to do with security of lives. So required attention and, if possible, expedited so that it will take effect immediately. That is the enabling laws. I think that the relocation of schools is a good idea. Even if the schools and even if the federal government decides to shut down the school for a full year, I'm in support of it. My reason being that it is only the living that will go to school. If an area has become so hot that the lives of the children are at stake, many are going to be vulnerable, the federal government, as a matter of urgency, should go ahead and shut down the schools. Apparently, some of these schools may not be able to move from their local government to town. I served in Bauchi State. I served in Azare, to be precise. And from Azare to Bauchi, that is the capital, the state capital, it's over 2 hours plus. So imagine if the schools in Azare were relocated to, or if the students were told to start going to Bauchi, how are they going to do it? How will they foot the bill? Are they going to trek? If it takes a vehicle 2 hours to get to Anzan, how much more is it going to take a human being? So for me, the best approach is to shut down those schools in those troubled areas. They should stay with their parents for now. If their places of abode is also under attack, then we should start thinking of IDP camp, establishing IDP camps in the state capital, pending when the security situation improves. After all, in Borno State, we had IDP camps when Boko Haram was disturbing the state so much. But later on, they had to go back to their ancestral homeland. That's what the whole issue was, resolved at the time. So that's my take on these two issues.
Mr. Nnamdi, with what you just said, it's very clear that the president is trying to reduce soft spots, because we always notice that the attacks takes place at schools, churches, especially at the remote areas, like the case of Eruku town in Kwara that happened. Remote areas, you could see the location, see the bushes, and all the different things. I just wanted to talk concerning the recruitment. Now, there's going to be, like I said, there's authorized additional recruitment into the police. Police is additional 20,000. They told the army 30,000, and all of the different things. Now let's look at 50,000 persons. These are 50,000 Nigerians more. I know there's going to be increased workforce. Do you also think that it might also cost a lot concerning training, logistics? Do we have enough of the firepower and everything wherewithal to really stand and man these guys?
For me, the recruitment, the federal government can recruit as much as they want. And I think that Nigeria has the resources, to be able to take care of them, provide all the arms and ammunition and so on. The president can send a supplementary budget, to that effect. The problem of Nigeria, I don't think that the problem of Nigeria is money. After all, how much was given to the governors that defected from their political parties to the APC? Monies were handed over to them. So if the federal government had so much money to dole out to governors, members of the House of Representatives and so on, who decamped to the APC, I'm talking about billions. Almost every year, national security takes a chunk of our national budget. So I think that the federal government will be able to effectively, take care of those that will be recruited into the force. But my area of concern is this. Many Nigerians have listened to different opinions. Most Nigerian youths are not ready to move into the force. Most of them are saying that the children of the politicians should move in first, or they should be drafted in first before they will join. So that may be a challenge. I remember that the military made a statement that some of the army officers, some of the people that were recruited into the Nigerian army, deserted. They left the army unannounced, unceremoniously. So these are some of the things that should be on the table. Why are people leaving? Why are people not encouraged to stay? So I think that these are the considerations.
Okay, Mr. Urbana, thank you very much. You just hang on, stay online while we get the reactions of Nigerians on this issue. So, listeners, it's now your time for you to contribute to the conversation this morning. We are looking at President Tinubu's declaration of national security emergency and, of course, the key measures he has taken. What do you think? Our guest has already done justice to the questions we asked him, but if you have any question to ask him, oh, that would be nice as well. And contributions are welcome. So the numbers are 0707 747 1522. 0912 000 1975. We've been streaming on Facebook, so you could go on Facebook to leave your messages there. 97.5 Golden there. Go there and drop your messages, or you can send a message on WhatsApp 0912 000 1975. Let's hear from our first caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good evening, FM.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Moses, calling from Tororo.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. President Tinubu declaring state of emergency on insecurity. It will not see the light of the day. Can only declare state of emergency in Rivers State and it will work. The other day, he hold a meeting. I was saying they are declaring state of insecurity, emergency on insecurity. That one to also work. They should ask those security agents fighting this Boko Haram and the bandits, what is their welfare? How are they taking care of them? You are journalists. You should ask, how are they fair? You understand? So not that they will say the basis of the insecurity. They will use that money to give to banditry, to release the kidnapping and the rest of them. So that state of emergency will not work. We will not see the light of the day. That is true. Thank you.
Okay, so it's actually not state of emergency. It is national security emergency. Just get the two correctly. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Agamoye, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Oga Paul.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to your guests. My name is Emma. I'm calling from down. I think I want to talk about the police and the army going for recruitment and all that. He has given orders for 30,000 and the army as well. That's the military. It's not all about the recruitment. It's all about taking care of these guys. It's not all about the recruitment. It's all about taking care. Their welfare matters a lot. Their welfare matters a lot. I mean, just like what the guest said there, how many of the big mind children are in the force? Because since their children are not there, these guys are not well taken care of. They are not well paid. It's not all about going for the recruitment. They should be well taken care of. Well, you kind of taken care of. Do what they are supposed to do. How can you now go there and die? And for them to be given their benefit becomes a problem. You give them 500,000 naira. And you want them to be happy. And you want people to come into the force. Because they are not well taken care of. Go to the advanced country. Can you even bribe their police? They are well taken care of. If you give them money, they say, no, please, thank you. That is why you are seeing all this insecurity. Nobody wants to bring out his or her mind and do the job. Because knowing too well that your life is on the line. Once you go in there, you give your life, and probably anything happens to you, your family is gone. Nobody will be taking care of you. Those ones in the barrack, before 2-3 months, they'll be forced to leave the barrack. So it's all about, he has not made mention of, okay, they will be well taken care of. There will be welfare for them. There will be a provision for uniform. There will be good arms for them to use. There will be all those things supposed to be in place. So please, they should look into all these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your submission. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Golden FM.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I still remain reporting from America.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I greet our guests that are linked up with us. God bless him for his analysis. But I will start by saying this. You see, we are already in a state of emergency. You don't need to declare it. Eyes can see, ears can hear. You see, but the issue now is, it's like reminding somebody of his name. You know your name. I don't need to remind you of your name. We are in it already. You see, what we need to do now is to act it. And then, secondly, for the schools, we don't need to relocate schools. I think the shutting down of schools for now, I think that one is okay, but you don't have to relocate schools to the capital because that will cause serious deprivation academically for those children. Thank you and good morning.
All right, thank you very much. It was not really relocation, correct? That's
just
boarding
said-
schools to seek constant security
He just said-
protection.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the president said yesterday is that he said that they should reconsider why they are, because you know when you're doing location of business,
Yeah.
you want to put schools. Sometimes why the schools are being put in the remote areas because there's land, and the land is cheaper there.
Yeah.
So because of the cheap, the land that's big land is cheap, you can get 20 acres and build all these things. But he said security must be handled.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Godin FM.
Good morning to you.
Chico is calling from Obele.
Okay, Chike, please go ahead.
Yeah, when we talk of the declaration in security in Nigeria, before you declare this kind of emergency declaration, many names have been called, many fingers have been pointed, those in a position in politics, in power, that they are the founder of this Boko Haram, which is causing insecurity. Nigeria, this constitution tells you that if any questionable character, that you are not meant to contest any post. Nigeria, what Nigeria don't do those fingers where they don't point, say their hand there for the bandits. Nigeria never do anything. Those people where they call their name, say their name there for the bandits, they never arrest anybody, say you abuse my name. Then it come to the military. Me personally, what you go make me, I no go join military, be say many fable pay for the military. Where me and you they go pursue one person, you go first try me before I reach there. Not only government taking care of. Fabo with finger give, say they follow for the founder of this Boko Haram. They're supposed to brought to book now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chikobi.
Yeah, the issue of Sabo, the way you put it, I don't.
It's saboteurs that's calling Sabo.
Yeah, saboteur.
Yes, just with the Sabo, but it's a good.
Oh, okay, well.
It's worrying, you know.
Well. Hello, good morning.
Oh, finally. It's increasingly difficult to get across here.
Sorry.
Oh, we will apologize. The lines are very busy.
No, it's not your fault. It means that the station is progressing.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. My name is Jackson. I'm calling from Makenpai.
Okay.
Jackson, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Number one, you can hear the callers. I want to speak to the man across from the neighbor to the president. You can say that they want to do recruitment and you see that people are not motivated to participate in this recruitment exercise. You cannot send somebody, in fact, becoming a military personnel or going for recruitment is like you going for a suicide mission. Because you can see the number of military personnel that are dying. Minus that Iba Abiyu, the general that they killed.
Yeah.
It's not just me. We've seen so many YouTube videos how they abduct military personnel, size them. Some of them, they behead them, and you see all manner of... I don't even know what to say. So people are not motivated to join. If you want to recruit, which people are you going to recruit to come into the military? Even me, if I had a child, I will not allow you. Even me, myself, I will not go. That is number one. Then the number two, if really they are shutting down schools because of these terrorist attacks.
They're not shutting down.
It just said the president said reconsider where boarding schools are being cited, especially in remote and insecure areas.
So they have constant security protection.
Yes,
something
so
like
you said
that.
rather put security protections around apparatus around it, because
not shutting them, keeping
no, he
No.
said because remember I just told you the reason why he's saying is that sometimes all these schools, boarding schools and everything that they want are targeted, but you're always finding them at the remote part of the states.
Okay.
Think about
Okay,
it.
no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Then those assembly members and the senators and the rest members that are saying that they should not retrieve their security personnel and that they will be vulnerable are some of the most, in fact, they are the most unselfish human being on earth. So you are hearing people dying on daily basis, bomb blasts, people abducted, people are being killed. So you don't see those people need safety because you have money. You are controlling money. So your life is more important than the rest person. So you should attract like 5, 7, 10 security personnel around you because you can pay them. So the 10, 20 person that doesn't even have one security personnel, so which means you feel your life is more better than them. Look at the way these people think.
Okay.
Look at the way they imagine.
All right, thank you.
So-
Thank you. Your time is up, all right? So
Yeah.
your time is up,
Yeah,
please.
thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Hello,
Hello.
good
Yeah,
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Paul and Mr. Moye Stevie.
Good morning.
And good morning to the guests all the way from Abuja.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, this is Caroline. I'm calling from Yenegua.
Caroline, be quick about it.
Okay. I just want to ask a question. President is declaring a state of emergency because of insecurity in Nigeria. I want to know, is Donato not coming again? Please, you guys give us updates. So.
Not state of emergency. Get it right. Not state of emergency. President declares national security emergency.
The national security emergency.
Not state of emergency.
The federal government agreement with Donato. We want to know.
Okay, now we'll maybe get to find out later on. All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
So, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Kiani Alfred Okumo.
Thanks for joining us.
From Sangana.
From Sangana?
Yeah.
All right. You're calling all the way from Sangana right now, or you're in Yanagua?
I'm in Sangana.
All right, thanks for joining us then.
Well, for a modern people, I think the Nigerian government is so uninformed. There are economic realities of life we should understand. Well, how are we thinking, sir, in this country? For me, I feel that this incessant 2 weeks kidnapping in the country was just stage managed. They were just stage managed. How people are kidnapped in 1 week, the next week you say you have negotiated with them and they've been released. What about the thousands of people that have been kidnapped over 2, 4, 5 years ago? What have they been negotiating with them that they did release them? For me, we should think globally, stop thinking locally. There are things that we should understand. People should know that this country, they are taking Nigerians for foolishness. We should be in between the lines. How can it be? Then you now read the stage managed to capture children from the Muslim school, then people from the church in Kwara State, then they release people from the church and people from the mosque just to drown the tension that says it is not only one Christianity or only Muslims. These were stage managed. Anyway, for me, I think that going forward, we have already put ourselves deep into this mess. Just like somebody said, saboteur. There is nowhere in the world that in any military or police that would not have people who are spying for this, people working in the same agency government that are working for another government to give information. But what have they done? What are the mechanisms have they put in place to track down those who are giving information? It is information that these people are working on. The Nigerian government should think globally and stop thinking locally. We are tired of their stories. What kind of emergency? Emergency on this, emergency on that, and we'll still go back to square one. Well, it is a pity that we find ourselves in this situation. I just pray that the Americans will do their thing the American way and not the Nigerian way, and leave the Nigerian system out of their own system.
All right.
So that we can go forward from there. Thank you.
In Akahamina, we know.
I was waiting for that.
You were waiting for it.
I was waiting for that. The moment they say Sangana, my Bluetooth just went on. I knew that.
All right, Noah. Okay, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good evening.
Good morning.
I greet you all in the studio.
I greet you too.
I am Mo. I'm calling from Opolo.
Opolo. Okay.
Yes, let me touch the area of the declaration of insecurity in the nation. Mr. President should be properly briefed, just like Senator Dixie, a man said in the National Assembly. See, these people are targeting agriculture so that there will be scarcity of food. Then education, there will be stark illiteracy in the country. And they're going down to security so that Nigeria will just extinguish. This thing will continue. Okay, there is a list, as we have had, on the names of people that are sponsoring these terrorists. Nothing is done about it. So if you don't dig out the roots, the tree will be standing. So I heard of, though I have been going around as I travel, I see these people, this directing, they call them DG and the Latin group of Nigeria. They are very good in my area. They are very good. They are the people securing. No police, no army will leave their tribes or stations or base and come and secure a place for you. Why not integrate these people into the system that knows the nook and crannies of their place or places? Than bringing, okay, if you recruit police or army now, nationally, then you transfer them to, deploy them to the where they are. They know there's no compass for them. Let me put it that way. They are not into that area. Even the language they don't know. So how do you think that person would, those such people will be effective in policing or guiding those areas or to chase uncommon people away?
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, to answer that, the president, as he said, that DSS was directed to immediately deploy all trained forest guards and recruit more to clear terrorists and bandits from forests nationwide.
Okay, that's okay. We will return to our guest in Abuja, Mr. Nnamdi Abana. But before that, let's quickly read this message on WhatsApp. This is from Emperor Richie. It said, "Good morning, Moye and Paul." Texting from a DPA. The declaration by the president is long overdue, but it's better late than never. The declaration is not the problem, but the issue of implementation has been the barricade to development in this country. If all the declaration and implement, if the declaration, I think it's implemented squarely, then it's a good feat to start in addressing insecurity in Nigeria. Thank you very much, Emperor Richie, texting from ADP. We appreciate you. Let's return to our guest as he concludes, gives us his final thoughts. Mr. Abana, you heard the callers, the listeners, what they said. Could you react to them in 90 seconds and give your concluding thoughts?
Okay, from the reaction of the callers, you can see that there is a lack of confidence, on the government. Nigerians are not confident that the government will be able to deliver on the promises they made. Like the other caller recalled about the issue of recruitment, it also believes that the children of the politicians should be recruited first. Then the other lady made reference to Trump. There is this anticipation about the intervention of the United States of America. So many Nigerians are anxious, some are getting tired, some are disillusioned. Let me put it that way. Demonstrating incompetence. That is the summary of what the people are communicating. And secondly, why the belated response and restructuring that is going on. Then again, I think there is a lack of understanding of this national security emergency. Many people are mistaking it for state of emergency. So it tells you that some Nigerians are not yet fully acquainted, or they've not fully digested, the speech of the president. But for me, we are in a dire situation. All that needs to be done to rescue this country from terrorists or bandits or whatever, or headers, killer headsmen, whatever the semantics, everything that needs to be done to neutralize them and to stop them from coming into the country. I mean, those ones that are coming in from other countries, all that the government needs to do, they should do. What we want is the security of lives and property. Throughout yesterday, we were hearing of rumors of, not just rumors, they were coming out on TikTok to announce states that they've infiltrated. They talked about Abia State, in Anambra State, Unity to be precise. Then I think Delta State and so on. So while the federal government is still planning, making declarations, telling the National Assembly to consider certain, these guys are on the move. So I think it's not a matter of getting necessary approvals from the National Assembly at this point. The president should articulate his point and give marching orders to the Nigerian Armed Forces. Let them start dealing with those enemies of the state. And again, there has to be a timeline. The trials are not performing within a time frame, they should be by other generals.
Okay, thank you so much.
This doesn't call for long meetings and long negotiations. They should be declaring their results on a daily basis.
Okay.
I think by so doing, a lot will be accomplished in terms of taking back our nation from these terrorists.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nnamdi Abana. Thanks for joining us all the way from